Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another class here on verbling.com with Teacher Abby. Good to see you guys. Your teacher's a little bit sore today. Hi, Ali. Welcome to the class. Good to see you.
Hi, Abby. How are you?
I'm okay. How you feeling? How was your evening? How was your day today?
It was okay. I was at home and relaxed. Stay at home today.
Oh, you didn't work today.
No, it's a day of 3 day in Turkey.
Wonderful. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was okay.
Thanks for coming to class. Good to see you. Hi, Anna. Welcome.
Good morning, Abby. How are you?
Oh, it's Roman. How are you?
I'm good, thank
I never know with you two. I never know what to expect.
you. Yeah, sometimes it's confusing.
I think maybe there's a problem with your microphone, Roman. It keeps cutting out.
Okay, sometimes it's confusing. Do you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay.
I think it's okay.
We'll try to be closer to you.
It's very nice to have you back in class. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Hi, Mateo.
Hi, Abby. Good morning.
Good morning. How you feeling?
Me too. Oh, sorry. I'm wrong.
What's the weather like today in Italy?
I need a bad weather. Bad
Is it raining?
raining. I
Mm.
don't know.
Well, it's definitely not raining here. It's going to be very hot and sunny today, so I'm looking forward to that.
In Canada,
Very hot, yes. 37 today.
I see your dress. It's a summer dress.
It's a summer dress.
Clothes, summer.
It is very hot today. 37.
Wow.
Hi, Pablo. Welcome to the class.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing okay, Pablo. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming. Hi, Anna.
Hello, teacher.
How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
I'm doing pretty good. Nice to have you with us. Where are you from?
I'm from Spain.
Wonderful. Thank you for joining me today. I'm happy to have you.
Thank you.
Hi, Michael.
Hi, Teacher Abby.
I think I'd like to be called Miss Abby now.
Why? Why don't you like Teacher Abby?
It makes me feel,
What?
I don't know. I think I'd like to be Miss Abby.
But why not Teacher Abby? What's wrong with that?
It's just not, we never say
What?
that in English. We never say teacher so-and-so. We say Mr., Mrs., or Miss.
Well, okay, I remembered you like that, like Teacher Abby. That's why I'm saying, keep saying.
I know. I'm sorry. It's just like a personal thing that's happening. I want to be Miss Abby. Maybe it's my ego. It's my ego.
You used to have like a student who called you like Miss Abby or
Mina.
Yeah, yeah. You see, you remembered him as well.
I do, because he called me Miss Abby, and that was
Hey,
really
Miss
special.
Abby. Do I sound like him or no?
Well, you can work on the accent a bit, but it'll do. Raphael, welcome to the class.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Raphael. Where are you from?
I'm from Spain.
From Spain. Wonderful. Thank you for coming to my class today.
Okay, thank you to you, Miss Abby.
Miss Abby.
My new favorite. And Saku, welcome back. Good to see you.
Happy.
Nice to have you with us, Saku. It's been a long time.
Yes, it's very long time no attend your class.
I know. I'm happy to have you with me. Thanks for coming.
Okay, thanks.
Never give up.
Yes, I found it on Google and I think it's helpful for me.
Very nice to have you. And Suming,
Hello, good to see you.
good to see you as well. Thanks for joining us today. How you feeling?
Fine, thank you.
Wonderful. Good to have you back. I'm standing again today. We're going to give it another try. So if I move too much, I guess Mustafa's not here to get mad at me. I'm sorry if I move. Thank you, everybody, for coming to the class. It's wonderful to see you. This is the earliest that I have ever taught a group class with Verbling. So if I get a little bit grumpy, you know why. Just kidding. I'm in a great mood today. Yesterday I tried something totally new.
Yes, we know.
And I'm a little bit sore today. I'm 27. I may be getting too old to try new things like that, but I feel pretty good. Very proud of myself. But I had the weirdest experience. Do you guys want to hear it or no?
What that?
Yes. Can you tell us?
On my Facebook, I have many, many students, and some people don't actually attend my classes. They just watch them on Verbling. And I had a Russian student send me a message on July 1st saying, Happy Canada Day. And I didn't respond because sometimes they don't respond. I'm terribly sorry. And I didn't respond to the message, but when I went to that class yesterday, which was Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, there was a man there, and he kind of looked at me funny, and I didn't even say hello. You know, I'm quite shy. And then right after the class, I got a message from the same student saying, are you the teacher that was just at the jiu-jitsu class? Because I didn't know that you were from Canada, but it just so happens that he's a Russian immigrant that lives in Vernon that was at the same jiu-jitsu class that I was at. Isn't that weird?
Well, depends how many friends you have on Facebook.
Only like 400.
Well, it's weird.
Wow.
Then it's weird.
It's crazy. I couldn't believe it. I was
If
just like,
10,000 would not be weird.
but it kind of blew my mind a little bit, and I didn't even say hello, so I'm pretty sure he's not my student anymore. Anyways, that's my weird story for the day. How is everybody else doing? Does anyone have anything they'd like to ask or say before we get started with our lesson? Okay, I will share my screen with you. Today we're going to be looking at some idioms. And what we're going to do is use those idioms to have a conversation. We've done this many, many times before. But for this class, we're going to try to use each idiom as either as a question or use it in a sentence, trying to explain it. So let's go ahead and get started. Maybe we could have Saku. Do you want to start for us? Do you want to read the first idiom for us and its definition?
Okay. Vicious circle. Vicious or vicious?
Vicious.
Vicious, okay.
Vicious.
A vicious circle is a pattern of behavior that keeps getting worse and worse. For example, if you get more credit cards, so you can pay off your debt, it is a vicious circle because the debt just gets worse and worse.
Okay, awesome. So, vicious circle. Any questions on what this means?
It's, I suppose it's the same like
Sorry, Roman?
do you hear me? I mean, it's the same like pyramid of Maslow.
Pyramid of?
Of Maslow. It's
Maslow.
do you understand what?
I don't think I'm familiar with that one, Roman.
You'd say Maslow pyramid. Maslow pyramid. Have you ever heard, Abby? Maslow
I haven't heard of
pyramid.
that. No.
No?
Uh-uh.
Okay.
Okay, so what we're going to do, if there's no questions, we're going to think of some examples. So maybe we could have Anna. Do you want to start us off, Anna, and give me an example of something that could be a vicious circle?
When someone have a lot of debt.
Okay, so how can that be a vicious circle?
Vicious circle, a lot of debt.
A lot of debt. Okay, so we want to understand what action happens that ends up making it worse and worse and worse. So it's any kind of behavior that gets worse.
Like environment.
Environment.
Yeah, like our environment getting worse and worse.
Awesome example. Absolutely awesome example. So let's take that for a moment. The environment. We damage the environment.
Oh.
Okay. So then the environment gets worse and does not have the ability to repair itself, yet we consume more and industries do more damage. That's a good example of a vicious circle. Wonderful. What about
smoke?
Okay. Okay, perfect. Smoking. Excellent example. Ali, how can smoking be a vicious circle?
Smoking is harmful for your health if you keep smoking too much. That's your health getting worse and worse.
Absolutely. And what other factor about smoking makes it a vicious circle? Not just the fact that it's bad for you, but the more you do it, the more you are.
Bad for some people around you, and not only harmful about you.
Roman?
I think you.
Exactly, the addiction factor. Exactly. And the more they smoke or the longer they smoke, the stronger the addiction becomes.
Is it like, for example, you want to hide something and you lying? Right? And somebody asks you about your lie or reality, you want to hide your lie, you always say another lie, something like that. It's a vicious.
Another very, very good example. Yeah, telling more lies to cover other lies is a vicious circle. Good.
Okay. And for example, when something is not getting worse, but something doesn't let another thing to happen. For example, with immigration, that if you're an immigrant and you don't have the legal papers, you can't work. And also, if you don't work, you can't have the legal papers. Is this a vicious circle?
Absolutely. Very good example. It's like a trap, right? It's one thing has led you to another thing, and now you are trapped. Now you can't get out. Anna, that's a really good example. Could you say that, please, for the class?
Yes, it could be possible that when you put weight, your self-esteem go down and you feel worse, and so you eat more and you put more weight and so on. So this is a vicious circle.
Fantastic. That is a perfect example. What about alcohol? Let's see if we could have Raphael give me an example of how consumption of alcohol could turn into a vicious circle.
For example, if one person has a problem and he starts drinking to forget the problem, and he get alcoholic. But the problem doesn't uh, doesn't solve, so it continues drinking, and the problem is bigger and bigger, and he continues drinking, and the problem is bigger. Something like
Fantastic.
that.
Exactly. That's exactly what happens. Another vicious circle. What about a temper? How could a temper turn into a vicious circle?
Sorry? How
Good
about?
example. No, that's good, Raphael. Thank you. I'm going to ask a different student about a
Ah,
different one now.
okay.
Michael, how could a temper turn into a vicious circle?
Well, I don't know. Like if you had like if you're hot-tempered, you so how would it turn in a vicious circle?
Okay, so you lose your temper once,
Uh-huh.
right? And then what sometimes happens to people when they allow that to happen more and more? What ends up happening?
I don't know, they lose more and more, and they become crazy.
Yeah, exactly, right? Maybe they completely lose self-control, and it's easier and easier for them to lose their temper every time they get angry.
Yep.
Good job. Anybody else? Think of an example?
I think modern society is very vulnerable for with a vicious circle because of credit cards, and you sometimes can afford you can afford a lot of things, but then you can have a trap because you have a lot of debt, like in the example.
Absolutely. That's very true. Out of the ones that we've talked about smoking, lying, credit card debt, alcohol consumption, all those things. Out of those things, which one do you think you've seen in your lifetime? Something that you've seen happen to somebody you know, or in your country or your community. Which one do you think is the most common? Let me ask. Oops. Let me ask Saku. Which one do you think is common?
Sorry, teacher. Uh, can you
What?
ask again?
Yes. What kinds of vicious circles have you seen?
I'm not sure, but in my country, I think we have uh, popular common vicious circle. I think we are a developing country, and a lot of people is poor, and but the people that very poor, they have a lot of baby, you, you know, and then mm, you don't have money, you have a condition to raise um, their son have to good life, and after that the son's life is just so poor, and I think it's a vicious circle. Vicious circle.
Interesting. That's an interesting way to apply it. Thank you, Saku. So Ming, what about you? Which one do you think is common in your country? Or which ones have you seen?
I think it's temperature. The temperature. The temperature, when the temperature is more higher, the people need to uh, turn on their air condition. So the air condition will release gas to the atmosphere. So the temperature will be uh, just increase in one way. Is that correct? Okay. That's all.
Yes, that is correct. Sorry, somebody's outside. Very good. It seems like an interesting way to use the idiom vicious circle, but I can see exactly what you're saying. So yes, I see that it works. Okay, let's go on to our next idiom, okay? Let's go on to... maybe we could have Pablo, would you like to read the next idiom for us?
Okay. X marks the spot. We often write an X to mark a specific place for something, or to mark where something is hidden. So we say X marks the spot, to refer to the place where something is hidden.
Perfect, okay. So where might we see something like this? Let's ask Rafael, where do you think we would see where an X would mark the spot?
Well, for example, do you mean that I say an example of that?
Yes, exactly.
Well, maybe if you have a problem in your body, you have some illness, and you go to the doctor, the doctor makes radiography, and said, and put an X where the problem is, and said X marked the specific point, the specific spot.
Wow, what an example, Rafael. What an example. Thank you.
It's okay?
It's great. That's a great example. Where else might you see where X marks the spot? Roman.
Now I'm thinking about example, but I don't know if it's appropriate. For example, in my city there is a rock bar, which is X marked spot for some people. They just can hide in there from their spouse.
Okay, very good. I'm thinking too of when you're looking for something of high value. Now this is usually told in stories. Can anyone think of an example of when you might see this in movies or stories?
Idioms, ¿qué es eso?
Anna, yes, X is a physical place.
What spot? What spot?
Spot is a place or a point.
So what's the meaning of this idiom? I don't, or give me like a sentence with this idiom so I would understand the idea. I don't understand.
Yes, me too. I didn't catch a meaning.
Okay, so when X marks the spot, it simply means that where there's an X, it's telling you that that's what you're looking for or that is the location. For example, when you're on a map and you're heading to a destination, there might be an X on that destination showing you that that is where you're going, that is the goal, that's where you're going to be finding something or going to, okay? But that has changed now. You might say X marks the spot now when somebody gets it. For example, say if you had a pain in your back and somebody was massaging your back and then they hit the point of pain with their thumb, you'd say, oh, X marks the spot. That's the location that we're talking about, or that's in conversation.
Okay.
Or it could be a physical place that you see with like a treasure map, for example. You look at a treasure map, you follow the pathway until you get to the X. X marks the spot of the treasure.
Okay.
Okay? Any questions or comments about that idiom?
Yes, I have a question.
Okay.
For example, in an economical problem or political problem, when you are speaking, for example, in economical problem in a country, you can say X mark the spot when you find the problem that is in the economical situation, for example. For example, the economical situation in Spain is the unemployment. So we can say the problem, unemployment X mark the spot. It's possible.
Yes, you could, I suppose. I suppose you could. Yeah, that wouldn't be a physical location like Anna was asking about, but it would be more metaphorical. But it would work.
Okay, I have a question.
Okay.
Maybe you have something illegal and you want to hide it, for example, a gun or drug or something like that, and you bury them and you don't want to forget the place and you make a mark that place. Is it about that?
Yes. Is somebody trying to call me? For some reason I'm having a... Interesting. Okay, sorry about that. Exactly, Ali. That would be it. So maybe you put a physical mark, and maybe it's not even an X. But the idea is that in ancient treasure maps, or back when in the day when people used to make maps to find things like that, they would put an X. So you would still say in your example that X marks the spot.
Yeah, you want to find them easily later. Maybe you put a stone or something like that on it. Maybe.
Exactly. Everybody understand that idiom? X marks the spot?
Yes.
Okay,
I
good.
understand.
Let's move on to our next one. Maybe we could have Anna. Would you like to read that for us?
Yes, zero tolerance. This means that all rules will be strictly enforced. You will be punished for even the smallest crimes. This is usually used to describe police or judges who will not forgive you.
Okay, so very good. Now, it says that it usually describes police or judges who will not forgive you. However, this can be used in your personal and your family life as well. So let's think of some examples of when you have zero tolerance. Matteo.
Okay. And in my country.
Or
Okay.
you, doesn't matter, whatever.
Or you. For example, in my country, I have a zero tolerance for the drive under much alcohol drink.
Drinking and driving.
Drinking and driving.
In my country, there is zero tolerance for drinking and driving. Perfect.
Okay.
Su Ming, what about you? What's an example of zero tolerance in your country?
Yeah, Button is not quite zero tolerance because with just little thing, the police will give you a chance, not charge you. So it's not quite zero tolerance.
Okay, very good. Can you type that too in the chat box for us, Su Ming? Can you type that again for us in the chat? I'd like to see it. Michael, something that you have zero tolerance for.
For rude people.
That's a good one. Why do you feel that way?
I don't like that. When someone is rude to me.
What if somebody's rude, but they just had a very bad thing happen to them? Do you tolerate that?
No, it's not about that. I understand. I kind of kind of understand why is rude that person. So there's like other things that I don't like. I mean, I understand if that person had like a bad time or something happened. That's why they are rude.
Okay, very good. So if somebody is just rude for no good reason,
well, there is, of course, there is a reason. So it could be like, well, it depends.
Okay, thank you for sharing. Anybody else think of an example?
Yes, I have an example. For example, if you go to work to a factory and you arrive late For example, you can say in my factory there is zero tolerance arriving late.
Excellent. That's a perfect example. Arriving late. Zero tolerance, meaning that when you are late, it's over. You're out of here. There's going to be a consequence.
Yes.
Roman?
May I try an example?
Go ahead, Roman. What's your example?
Yeah. When I was child, I had teachers who had zero tolerance for a student who played truant lessons.
Okay, so what was the consequence? Why was it zero tolerance? What did they do?
They punished the student.
Okay, very good. Kind of like me, right? You're right, Ali. It's graduated from a smack to a karate chop. Anna, when do you have zero tolerance for something?
I think that there are, for example, when people throw rubbish to the environment, the countryside, there will be zero tolerance.
When somebody does what to the countryside?
Throw rubbish to the countryside and throw papers and plastic bags and things like that.
Excellent. We call that littering, Anna, when people litter.
Okay.
Good example, yeah. That's how it is here too. If you get caught littering, you will pay a fine, maximum $2,000 for throwing garbage on the ground. Anybody else? Okay, let's go to our next idiom if there's no more examples or questions. And we could have Su Ming, would you like to read the next one for us?
Oh yes. Sheep your lip. Be quiet. Shut up.
Okay, good reading. Thank you. Can you think of when you might say this, Saku? When might you say this?
I think when my coworker talk a lot of my mistake, I think so, and I don't want to hear him, and I can say, zip your lip.
Zip your lip. Do you want to try saying it, Saku? Zip your lip.
Yeah, zip your lip.
My dad used to say to me, zip it up. There might be different ways to say zip it up right now, or zip it.
Okay, zip it.
Zip it. Why do you think we say zip? Zip it. Who can tell me?
I think it comes from word zipper.
Yes, exactly, Roman. So what happens when you zip up a zipper? It closes the opening, right?
Yeah.
So it's like saying it's like saying shut your mouth. Shut it. Zip it. It's actually not as rude as saying shut up. I'm sure you guys know if you say in English shut up, it's really quite rude. Zip it up is not quite as rude as that, but it can be pretty strong, so you want to be careful. Can anyone else think of an example of when you would use it? Or when maybe you've heard it?
I often listen, shut up.
Mm-hmm.
Not zip it. I
Well,
don't listen zip.
I
No?
bet you, now that you've learned this idiom, I think you will probably identify it in conversation because it's very, very common.
Okay.
I will never say this to you guys in class. Maybe just once right now. I'd say, Mateo, zip it.
Okay, okay, okay.
You'll never hear me say it again. That was just my free ticket to be rude.
Okay. This write in my black book.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Now I'm in trouble. Beautiful. Nicely done. Okay, let's go to our next one. Our next idiom here. Maybe we could have Michael. Do you want to read it?
Zero in on something, zoom in on something. If you zero in on something, then you zoom in on it or look at it more closely, to focus more closely on something.
Okay, very good. So something that you really look closely at or you examine carefully. Maybe it becomes the center of attention for you.
Wow, zero in at that, and you can say whatever you like.
So can anyone think of some examples?
Yes, you zero in, for example, when the policeman gives you a fine. For example, because you speak too fast, the police give you a fine. Fine is okay. Fine.
Absolutely. So can you use the idiom in that sentence to describe what happens?
Yes, I am zeroing the fine, or I am zooming the fines. The fine.
Okay, you could say the police zeroed in on you.
Sorry?
You could say the police zeroed in on you and they gave you a speeding ticket. They noticed you out of a crowd. They picked you out and they focused on you.
Yes, what I mean is that when the police gives you the paper, you look at the paper very careful. So you
Okay.
zoom in.
I
No,
suppose, yeah. I suppose
you
that could work.
zero in the paper.
It's less about physically looking with your eye on something. It's more about a general feeling that you have towards something. Say, for example, Ali is at a party. I like to use Ali because he's very tolerant of me. And he's having a great time, and then a beautiful woman walks through the door. He might decide to zero in on her, meaning that he notices her or he pays attention to her. But he might not be staring at her because he's trying to be cool and casual, right?
Right.
That's just an example. So it's not necessarily a piece of paper. I'm going to zoom in on the word on this paper. It's more of like a general situation where you pay attention to something more closely. You could zero in without even looking, maybe.
Yes, okay.
Pablo, do you have an example? Does anybody have another example of when you might zero in or zoom in on something?
I can try.
Okay,
So
try it.
I made an effort to zoom in documents, but loud music disturbed me.
Excellent. Very good. I was trying to zero in on my work, on my document, but too much was happening. Good example, Roman. Anna, can you share your example with us? It's a good one.
I don't know if the sentence I wrote in the chat is okay, or it more general how I must use. For example, I have to zero in pronunciation if as an English student, or yes.
It's a perfect example.
Okay.
Perfect example. Very good. What about, so Anna, what you're saying is you are an English student, but one thing that you would like to focus on or improve on would be your pronunciation. Pablo, that's a good one. I like it. You better keep your eye on him. When it comes to studying English, what do you need to zoom in on? We'll go with Anna's example. Saku, what would you like to zoom in on when it comes to your English studies?
I think the first thing I have to zoom in on English grammar. After that, I think I zoom in vocabulary.
Nicely done. So you'd like to zoom in on grammar and then
Yeah.
vocabulary. That's your focal point. Anybody else have an example they would like to share with the class?
Make a master in a school, graduate.
Okay.
You know?
So your studies at school, yeah?
And make a master. Zoom in.
Make, what do you mean make a master, Mateo? Can you explain?
After your study, a graduate, okay, you choose make a master for zoom in the special topic.
Ah, okay, to specialize.
Specialize.
Excellent. So
Zoom in.
So if maybe you go to be a doctor and then you decide that you'd like to zero in on being a surgeon, that becomes your focal point as a doctor. Good example, Mateo.
Oh, well.
Very good example. I'm impressed.
Oh. Sometimes.
Good example, Anna. Anna says you need to zero in on the date, the use-by date of a food item before you eat it. That's a good one as well.
Thanks.
Perfect. Okay, let's go on to the next idiom. And let's have, who has not read? Saku, would you like to read it?
Okay. Catch some Z's. Z's. Catch some Z's. It means get some sleep. Take a nap.
Okay, very good. So we're not talking like going to bed for the night. When do you feel like you need to catch some Z's, Saku? When do you feel that way?
Give an example.
Yeah, give me an example.
Okay, let me try. Today, the lesson's topic is so boring. I think I need to catch some Z's.
What topic?
I'm kidding.
Today, Abby's English class is so boring. I need to catch some Z's. Never give up, Saku.
Okay.
I'm glad I'm learning jiu-jitsu. I might need it for my students. Okay, very good. What about you, Suming? When do you like to catch some Z's?
Catch some Z's in Spain. Usually, I know in Spain, take I don't know.
Siesta.
What? Siesta. You know?
Mm-hmm.
It's okay.
Very good. Yeah, that's a good example. They like to catch some Z's around 1 o'clock.
Okay.
Anybody else have an example?
After eat a lot of food, maybe. I feel like catch some Z's.
Exactly. Very good. Yeah, if you eat too much, you might need to catch some Z's. That's a good example. Usually we get a bit tired after that, don't we?
Due to the hot night, I couldn't sleep, so I catch some fish.
Beautiful. Nicely done. If you had a bad sleep, you might need to catch some Z's the next day.
Okay.
Beautiful. Okay, so now what I want you guys to do is I want just a couple of you to choose one of the idioms and use it to ask someone else a question. So some of you will ask and some of you will answer, okay? I want Ali to ask Su-Ming. Ask Su-Ming a question using one of the idioms from today's class.
Okay, swimming. Have you ever, how to say, X marked the spot? Something like
You could say, have you ever been in a situation where X marks the spot?
yeah.
Situation, smart spot. Smart spot. I think when I found station map, there are some smart spot in the map. So I will find something from a map. Is it?
Beautiful. Good example, Sumay, and good question, Ali. Thank you. Now we're going to have Anna. Can you ask Saku a question using one of the idioms?
Yes. Who person I must ask?
You're going to ask Saku.
Saku. Hello, Saku. What is for you zero tolerance?
Let's try that again. What is something?
Where is something zero tolerance for you, Saku?
I think when I smoke in in the public place in my country, it's zero tolerance for me.
Nice.
Okay.
Awesome example. Good job, Anna, and good answer, Saku. Thank you. Roman, can you ask Raphael a question using one of the idioms?
Okay, try. Raphael, is it difficult to you to zero in on something? Is it correct?
That's perfect. That's a perfect question.
Sorry, can you say again, please?
Yes.
Is it difficult for you to zero in on something?
Well, no, it's not very difficult. I am used to zero in papers, and it's not difficult. Maybe it's more difficult to zero in the person.
Beautiful. Good answer to that question. Nicely done. And Roman, good job with your grammar. Mateo, you're going to ask Pablo.
Okay, hi Pablo. Which one was vicious circle in your country? Wars.
You could say, what vicious circles exist in your country?
What vicious circle exist? But I asked which one worse.
Oh, which is the worst? Okay.
Worse.
So Pablo, go ahead. Pablo, are you there? We can't hear you.
Lost Pablo.
Pablo.
Yoo-hoo!
No, we can't hear you, Pablo. I haven't been able to hear you for a while, actually. I thought you were just being shy.
Ah.
I must have a problem, yeah. Go ahead and type your answer in the chat box for us, Pablo. What is the worst vicious circle in your country? Can you write it down in the chat box, please? And Michael, you're left. Do you want me to ask you a question, or would you like to ask me a question using one of the idioms?
Sorry, could you repeat?
Would you like to ask me a question using one of the idioms, or do you want me to ask you one?
Ask me you one.
Okay.
And I'll ask you after that.
When do you think it's appropriate to tell someone to zip it?
I think I would not use that expression only with like friends. I would use and close friends, like that I know. What?
So more like a playful thing.
Yeah, because that's not. I think you cannot say that in a job setting or to people that acquaint since only. Like you cannot say zip it. It's kind of not rude, but quite informal. So I think it's appropriate to say like to a friend when he or she has a slip of the tongue, like saying something that he or she shouldn't say. I would say zip it.
Awesome. Yeah, that's probably true. And you know what? It actually is rude. So you were right when you say that it's rude, because it would be rude if you didn't know the person well.
Yeah. And what about zero tolerance? Zero tolerance. What? So how would I ask? I mean, what do you have zero tolerance for?
Perfect. Yeah. What do you have zero tolerance for?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good question. I have zero tolerance for cruelty to animals.
Okay. Okay, then next question would be harder. What do you have zero tolerance for a vicious circle? Does it make sense?
I have zero tolerance.
For what vicious circle? This is correct way. For what vicious circle you do you have zero tolerance? That's.
I have zero tolerance for the vicious circle of debt or lying.
Debt?
Lying. Ali's example of lying and then lying more to cover up for your lies.
Okay.
You know what, though? I'm not really a zero tolerance kind of girl. I'm pretty easygoing, and I realize that everybody makes mistakes. So it's not really my style.
Okay.
Yeah, Anna, it's not rude to say it with, well, it might be. My parents used it with me all the time. They told me to zip it. But my family is very liberal. We have a family that's quite,
Why
well.
your parents say it usually?
Pardon?
Are you talking too much, or why they say this?
Probably because I was talking back. So maybe they said, go clean your room, and I said, you clean my room.
You are rebellious.
Just a little, just a little. I was. Okay, let's try to fill in the blanks with the appropriate idiom. Anna, will you do the first one for us? I'll try to zoom in a bit more for you. There you go.
Sorry, what? I had to complete the sentence?
Exactly, using one of the idioms from today's class.
Sorry, I worked 12 hours today. I'm exhausted. I'm going to go some and catch some thieves.
Perfect. Good for you, Anna. Nicely done. Roman, the next one with Valerie.
Okay, Valerie, I have been searching for the ideal car for a long time. I think I'm close, but I'm still trying to zero in the perfect car for me.
Awesome. Nicely done. Very good. Next one, we'll have Rafael. Would you like to do it for us between teacher and Zoe?
Yes. Teacher, okay, the test has begun, so I want everyone to be quiet and stop talking. Sue, hi Davy, what are you doing after school? Teacher, Sue, sit up, sit.
Zip it.
Sit, how do you say, sorry?
Zip it.
Zip it.
My grandma's laughing at me because she heard me say zip it and she thinks I'm talking to you guys.
Zip it.
That's a perfect example, Rafael. Thank you very much. Very good. He said zip it because he just told her to be quiet and she's still talking. Okay?
Okay.
That's one of my grandmother's favorite things to say to me, so she's thinking that it's funny that I'm saying it to you now. Okay, let's go to the next one. Pablo, would you like to try the next one for us? Between Vin?
Pablo, have a problem.
Oh, right. Pablo has a problem. Thank you for reminding me. Mateo, do you want to give it a shot?
Okay, the police in this town have a zero tolerance for people who run red lights. If they catch you, you will definitely get a big fine.
Mateo, you're on fire today. Good job. And the last one, we will have Saku. Go ahead and read the last one for us. The dialogue between Zack and Victor.
Okay. Jack, you are any overweight. You need to get some exercise. Victor, I know, but I don't have any energy. Uh, you don't have energy because you never exercise. You're right. It's really a vicious circle.
Yay! Nicely done. You guys did an awesome job with those idioms. Are there any questions or comments?
It's okay. Very interesting.
Yes.
Okay, good. Quite a few idioms there. We didn't get to our W idiom, so we'll have to have a separate class for that, but you guys did a wonderful job. Thank you so much for coming to my class today. It was nice to have some people that were newer for me, like Anna and Raphael, so thank you for joining. It was good to see you guys.
Thank you to
Bye.
you.
Thank you very
Do you
much.
have
Bye.
a link
See you later.
for document?
Take care.
Thank
Pardon?
you.
Bye bye.
Do you have link for document?
I don't have a link for the document, no. But I can
How
make it
long?
in. I can turn it into a document for you, or I can post them on my Facebook page. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
How long have you been record this class? How long?
How long, Michael?
Sorry?
For
What? How long?
How
for
long
how
have I
long?
been doing classes here on Verbling?
1 year and 7 months. No, 6 months. 6 months.
6 months the class will be record.
Yeah, the
Okay.
classes are all recorded. You can go to my YouTube channel and watch any of the classes there.
It's
Okay.
how long I am here. That's why I know. Like because I am here like about from January. You are from February.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Okay.
Take care. I have to start the next hour, but hopefully
Thank
I'll see you
you.
then. Bye.
Bye bye.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.